Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Now we're going to talk about how you can build your very own meat cannon. So we're going to need a few things starting with perks. You're going to need the home defense perk. You'll need this for the flamethrower trap unless you have a friend they could build it for you. Contractor, don't need it, just makes it way cheaper. And happy camper, just keep you from starving to death while you build any of these things. Also going to need a couple mines that you can get from the crafting bench, explosive bait and the frag mines. In order to build those you need at least one rank of the demolition perk, which you can find under the intelligence category. And if you look in the crafting menu for the tinkerer bench, you'll see it under mines. So you're going to want to craft a few frag mines and as much explosive bait as you can. Now one of the main ingredients for that is rad stag meat, which is pretty hard to come by, but I find most of mine actually here in the northern part of the map. You might have to server hop a few times, but when you find a server that has a lot of rad stags, usually you'll find a few dozen of them. If you put the butcher's perk on, you'll find groups that you can get 8 to 10 rad stag meat, depending how lucky you are, and it'll give you more than enough to craft some explosive bait. So moving on to the actual build itself, we're going to start with just a few foundation pieces. We're going to put down 4. So we'll put down 2 just hooked up like this, and then we'll put 2 more on the sides. And we're going to take 2 pieces of half wall, we'll put 1 on each side, so just like this. Put 1 on this side, and I'll put 1 on this side. Then we're going to go to the roof category. We're going to make a roof angled on the inside, and this is the cool part. This is a trick you can use for other things, but we're going to stack a couple stash boxes here, and then we're going to take that flamethrower trap that we talked about earlier, and we're going to face it towards that roof. So once we're able to place it, we'll get out and we'll activate it, and that's actually going to destroy that roof piece. So what that's going to do is going to get it out of the way, and we'll go back to the edit screen, grab a angled roof facing the other way, and we're going to put that on to the other side. So now we're going to have this little inverted triangle V shape, put it down, and then we'll turn the flamethrower trap on again and destroy that piece. So that basically is just going to get those 2 pieces out of the way and let us put some other stuff on without them interacting with them. So we're going to put the rest of our half walls on, and then we're going to grab some full wall pieces. So we're going to put a doorway on the back, and then we're just going to put regular walls the rest of the way around. And just put those on there. And now for the last part in the back, we're going to put a door. Yeah, and then we'll repair the camp. So that's going to bring those 2 roof pieces back. We could remove the side foundations and the flamer traps. We don't need those anymore. And we're going to open that door. So when we open it, you'll see we have this little triangle. That's going to be useful for holding our ammunition for our meat cannon. We'll see that shortly. And now we're going to put down 3 stash boxes. These are just the regular blue stash boxes. Let's put them right on top of each other. Doesn't quite stick on there. I have to move that over a little bit. So 3 on top, and then we're going to take that flamethrower that we used earlier. We're going to put that on top. Now what we're trying to do here is we want to angle the flamethrower just right so when we turn it on it doesn't destroy either of those roof pieces and doesn't destroy the wall on the other side. This takes a little bit of playing with it, so you'll see I turn it on. It does destroy one of the roof pieces. Ideally we don't want it to destroy either. So you can turn it on, you can go to your camp object after you tried adjusting a little bit, and then repair, and then try again. So this is just trial and error. Eventually you're going to find the right angle where that flame will go between them and not destroy either of them. It will work if it doesn't do that, but it's way better if you can get that just facing perfectly without destroying those roof pieces. Cool, so we're going to move on to the actual inside of it. So we can go ahead and close this door. And on the inside, so this triangular roof, this is going to cause anything we put in here to slide towards the middle, and that's how we're going to make our cannon work. And to give us just a little tighter area, we're going to put some foot lockers. You could put other stash boxes. I like these because they're narrow and they're tall and they kind of fit. But we just want to line the inside and reduce the area that objects can sort of move around inside this structure. So I'll put foot lockers all the way on the inside here. And I'll put some on the other side. So now these don't have to be perfectly lined up. No one's really going to see them the way we're using them. But you know, do whatever you want, the best job you can, and fit one in there. I could probably fit another in this side. I just move this one over, and I'll put another one down. Cool. So now we have a much tighter space, and what we're going to do is we're going to take one of the frag mines that we would have made earlier, and we're just going to test it. So we're going to put it in the middle. You'll see that it kind of slides towards the center. Put it down. And then we're going to test that flamer. So we're going to go out and activate it. And what we're looking for is we want this flamer to detonate that frag mine. So when we turn it on, boom. That's the effect that we're looking for. And this is how we're going to fire ammunition out of our meat cannon. So moving on, we are going to set up a little switch to turn the meat cannon on so you can activate it remotely and see all your meat being fired. We can start with a connector on the side, nothing too fancy. Like I said, I don't do, really aesthetically complicated builds, but I'm just gonna put a couple of connectors on the side and hook them to the flamer trap. And then we're gonna need a little power switch. It doesn't matter which switch. I think this one you don't need plans for. I think you start with this one. Let's put that one down. But do be aware that when you put a switch, it's usually in the on position, so once you hook it up, just make sure you turn that switch off, otherwise you're going to have a minor disaster. Just turn it off first, yeah, and then you can hook your generator up. Nice, so now we have a little powered meat cannon ready to fire some stuff, so we should probably decorate it. Now, I'm not much of a decorator. I'm probably going to put something on here. It says meat cannon, and then I don't know what else I'm going to put on here. So you should decorate it to whatever fits your personality, whatever, look inside yourself and see what you want your meat cannon to look like. Mine, I'm just going to put a little lettering on there and skip ahead to a part where I've decorated it. So we'll put on meat cannon. And skip ahead. Yeah, so this is my end meat cannon. I'm sure yours will look better than this, but it's ready to go. So I've got my meat cannon ready, and I've got my explosive bait. So now we're going to load our meat cannon. So all that explosive bait we built earlier, this is going to be the projectile. So if you've ever used this, I think you use it once for a quest. It's probably one of the few items that we spawn that actually reacts to some of the physics in the game. And we're going to jump inside the meat cannon and load it. Now I lied, we're going to need to put our frag mines first, because this is going to be the quote-unquote the gunpowder that makes this fire. And we're just going to put 2 in, so we'll put 1 on each side. And then we're going to take our explosive bait, just equip it, and just start throwing it in there. Yeah, so just put it in. Don't worry about server performance. You just put as many in as you want, as many as you can make. The more the better. Just keep throwing them and throwing them. And you can kind of see as you throw them that they're loose objects, and they kind of have their own physics, which is what we're going to use to make this cannon work. And oh, we have a loose ham here. That's fine, that's going to happen. Don't worry about it, keep putting your bait in. As many as you want. To your heart's content. Look at all that meat. Perfect. So now that we've loaded our meat cannon, we have our frag mines in there, our explosive bait. All we got to do is flip this switch to detonate it, and then we're going to look for a cannon-like effect of meat. Excellent. And this is what we're looking for. This is how you make a meat cannon. Go ahead and make your own. I'd love to see some people building some of these out in the wild. There's other stuff you can do if you get creative. You can do this with Brahmin as well, if you can fit a Brahmin in there. But this is the main idea, and I hope you guys use this as some inspiration for some stuff that you could do, or maybe just something fun you can show to people, or maybe get some friends out and show them that you have your very own meat cannon. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with our next tutorial.